What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Yesterday was Juneteenth, and of course, it is a day to commemorate the fact that June 19th, 1865, which was actually 2 years late, in which African Americans officially started celebrating their freedom in Texas. And this marks 158 years of that freedom, if you will, from slavery, or the celebration of Juneteenth. Now, of course, we have people in the pro-black community who don't agree with celebrating it, but I believe that those reasons, for however they are substantiated, come from a place of love. All right. I know Dr. Claude Anderson is over there talking about that with Dr. Boyce Watkins right now, and I have not listened to that. But the problem I'm going to have is with black conservatives. And one of the things that I've noticed is black conservatives are always trying to get black people to see the truth and to join forces with them by humiliating blacks. This is something that I've noticed with several black conservatives. I'll name one today, Candace Owens, right? Whenever black conservatives say they want to win blacks, I really don't believe that's the case. Black conservatives want to keep good standing with white conservatives. And if you look at the majority of them, they're all married to whites, mostly. Hardly will you find black conservatives married to one another. They will always be married, for the most part, to whites. And that already lets you know that that individual is compromised. Okay? But Candace Owens is also hating on Juneteenth. Now, what I like to do is I want to play, this is a clip from what she said last year. She's also said the same thing this year. But let me go ahead and play that clip, and I'm going to come back.
I broke my very own record. I trended for 72 hours on Twitter. That's the longest I have ever trended on Twitter. And the reason was because I sent out a tweet. The tweet was, ready? Juneteenth is so lame. Internet fireworks. People were explosive. They couldn't believe that I would say that. Candace, don't you understand? How could you? How dare you? Candace, you are a pawn. I don't like Juneteenth, and I'm going to tell you why I don't like Juneteenth, because I don't like things that are stupid. That's kind of really it. I don't like things that don't make sense. I don't like things that don't even have anything to do with the history that it claims to represent. If you're going to talk about celebrating the emancipation of slavery, weren't there some other more interesting dates that would maybe make more sense? For example, first and foremost, of course, it was January 1st of 1863 that President Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves in rebel states through the Emancipation Proclamation. But we don't celebrate January 1st for anything other than New Year's Day. We don't hear any chatter about the Emancipation Proclamation. That would maybe make a little more sense. But what about December 18th, 1865? That was the date that Congress and the states outlawed slavery throughout the country with the ratification and proclamation of the 13th Amendment. That would seem like a perfect date if you wanted to actually celebrate freedom in this country. But nope, the left instead has landed on June 19th, 1865, which is being called, of course, Juneteenth.
Now, if this is the reason, don't agree with it, let it be. But I had to type in Candace Owens Black History Month because I wanted to know if Candace Owens has a valid reason, or let me say it for this, does she hate on Black History Month, and does she have a valid reason? So voila, here's a tweet. When Black History Month came around, it goes this. It's hashtag Black History Month, the month where a bunch of people who know nothing about Black history take the time to celebrate people like Frederick Douglass, but have never read any of his works. Okay, so this was February 1st, 2021. If you guys listen to that clip from the Candace Owens podcast, you hear all those whites laughing in the background? Or what we would consider, we think is whites, or at least 50% whites. It would have to be that, right? Those people are not blacks laughing at the fact that she's trashing Juneteenth. Now, if you want to look at why black people have nothing in America, black conservatives like Candace Owens are just as much a part of the problem as black liberals. Because see, neither mindset owns anything in black America. Okay? The black liberal says it's white supremacy holding me back while trying to integrate into the white system. The black conservative is just doing it outright and saying everything is your fault, but wanting to integrate. Both systems of thought keep black people poor and destitute. Because anybody who doesn't value themselves, you don't value your people, you don't value the community that you come from, how can you ever clean up your people? How can you ever invest? See, this is why Chinatown has Chinatowns everywhere in the country. This is why you have successful groups like the Indians coming in to the black neighborhoods and Arabs, because none of them talk like her. Whenever you talk about a Jewish holiday, name anybody who will dare say the same thing that Candace Owens is saying about her own people, Black History Month or Juneteenth, about the Jews. You won't even find Jews talking like that, even if they don't agree. Because that kind of behavior must be out of the group for the group to be successful. No group can ever survive like that. This is why a lot of black conservatives, you cannot take them serious, because black conservatives don't care about black people. Black conservatives care about kissing ass, usually, not all, right? But the majority of them that I know of, kissing, coddling to white people. And then they also have no power. Black conservatives don't fund their own initiatives. There is no group of black people who are conservatives that fund their own issues when it comes to the black community. None of them. No different than the liberals. And see, this kind of behavior must be called out. Because number one, even if you don't like Juneteenth or what it stands for, you better not take your ass anywhere and say it publicly, because you give people a room to disrespect our people. This is exactly why they tried to make this, let me say this, a diversity day, okay? A diversity day. That's exactly why. Whenever you come across black people and they talk like that, they'll say, okay, we don't need Juneteenth, we'll give you diversity day. But they don't say that for these other days. Haitian Flag Day, shout out to they're not going for that shit. All right? Chinese New Year, not going for it. And the backlash Candace Owens will have talking about any of those groups is damn near life-threatening. And everybody knows that. But when it comes to the blacks, that's how we think. And this is the reason why, as a group of people, we don't have very much. Okay? We have to celebrate every situation as much as we possibly can that represents us in any kind of positive way, in my honest opinion. Because if you don't, other people are always gonna celebrate their stuff, whether it's true or not. It don't matter. And that's why we are at the bottom, if you think about it. That's why we are at the bottom, guys. Our group is at the bottom because of what? How we think. How we think. No other group of people thinks like that and is successful. Not nobody. And we got to get out of that mindset. We got to get out of that dustiness. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Producer, follow you, subscribe to the bell. We're out.